Hey man, so I finally got around to doing this, and since you've already been writing out scales and stuff, just figuring out where the half and whole steps are using the formula, whole, half, whole, half, I'm just going to show you like maybe 3 scales, how you've been doing it, and then I'm going to show you the trick to categorizing and making sense of it all, to just find your key signatures. It's the coolest thing ever when it comes to this stuff. Alright, so check it out. I just did a couple staffs, and crap, where did I put my green marker? I'm going to try and make this all just one video. Oh crap. Hang on, give me a second. Here we go. Alright, so here we go. Turn it around here. I got just these 3 staffs, and I figured we'll just do a couple of scales. So I guess the first one we'll do will be D major. Let's just do that. D major for the first one. And where are we going to start? On D. So first, before we worry about any of the sharps or flats or whatever that scale may have, let's just write out the note circles, you know, because if we're going to write out a scale, we know it's going to go line, space, line, space, line, space, or space, line, space, line, space, line. So we'll do D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and D. Now, hang on, let's do this. Put it over here. Whole, half, whole, half. So we're going to work with that. So let's look between the D and the E. What is that? There's D, then there's D sharp and E. So that's a whole step. So that's our whole. E to F. Is there an E sharp? No, there's just F. So what do we have to do to the F in order to make this a whole step? We have to alter it somehow. Well, if we lower the F to an F flat, it's the same as E. So we know that we don't want to lower it. So we need to raise it up by how much? It's already from E to F is a half step, and we need to get a whole step. So we just raise it by a half step. The way you do that is you make it sharp. Okay, so now we have the D to E is a whole step, and the E to an F sharp is a whole step. You know, we'll do it like this. There. Okay. And now F sharp to G. Let's see. I didn't draw out a keyboard this time, but you have a keyboard in your room. F sharp to G is a half step. So that's good, because look, we already have whole, half. Our formula is whole, half. Now we need to get another whole step in between here. So G to A, well, there's a G, G sharp in between here, and then there's A. So that's good. That's a whole step right there. Okay? Now, A to B. What do we need? We got whole, half, whole. We need to get whole, half, whole, half. So 2 more wholes we need to get out of this thing. So we got whole, half, whole. A to B, A sharp B. We know there's that's a whole step. Now B to C, we need to get another whole step because it's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. B to C, what do we need to do there? There's from B to C is only a half step right now, but we need to make it a whole step. So we need to raise the C up a little bit, right? Like you wouldn't lower the B because we've been working from left to right, okay? And we started out by drawing just the circles and then, you know, from D to D all the way up and then altering them. So we need to raise the C by a half step. So we just make it sharp, C sharp. Alright? And then, so that's a whole step. And then C sharp to D, there's nothing in between it, that's a half step. Alright? So there's your D major scale. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Alright, let's do another one. We'll do one with some flats in it this time, okay? We'll do, since I mentioned it while I was on the phone with you, we'll do E flat major. Okay, so this one, we're going to start on, you're going to start on the E line. Don't worry about the flat because we'll make that in later. But just write out the circles. You know, we'll call them circles, they're notes. But E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So, but that's in E, so we go E flat because we're in E flat. Just make the E flat. Boom. There you go. So now you're starting on the black key, right? Alright, so let's think. E flat to F. We need to get a whole step somehow. How are we going to do that? Well, the E to F would be a half step. So if you go to a half step down and start on the E flat and go to F, you're already at a whole step right now. So that's fine. We don't have to alter anything. We need to get another another whole step. Okay? F to G. So there's a F, F sharp, and then G. So that's good. We don't have to do anything there. Now we need to get a half step in here. Whole, half. Okay, how are we going to do that from G to A? Well, there's G, G sharp, and A. We can't make this a G sharp, right? Because then it'll ruin the interval between these two. And that won't be whole anymore. That'd be a step and a half. So we have to alter the next note up. We have to bring that down. And we got to make it an A flat. Bring it down by a half step. A flat. So G to A flat is essentially the same as G to G sharp, but it's called the name for when there's like more than one name for something is called enharmonic. E-N harmonic, just H-A-R-M-O-N-I-C. Enharmonic. G sharp, A flat. In the key of E flat, it's in A flat. So then we have, what do we got? Whole, half. We need to get a whole here. We have A flat to B. Well, there's A flat to A sharp to B. Well, that's 1.5 steps. So that's too big. We need to make it smaller. So we're going to go to the B to do that. And we need to bring it down by a half step. Alright? Just look at your keyboard. A flat to A to B flat. That's how you do it. You bring it down a half step. So that's what we have so far. That's your whole, half. I got minor on my brain. whole, whole, half, whole. We need to get a whole here. So a B flat to C. Well, the B to C is a half step by itself. So B flat, since you're going down, the B flat to C is a whole step. So we're good. Don't have to do anything. Whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole. Now C to D, C, C sharp, D. That's a whole step. So we're good. I already wrote it in actually. And now the D to E, we're not in the key of E, we're in E flat, right? That's what the key we're in is E flat. So we already know that that has to be flat. And if you do the math, you have a D to E flat, that's a half step. Boom. There's your formula. We'll do one more, and then I'll show you the secret like categorization. I didn't say that right. It's so early, dude. I had to wake up early and go to AutoZone and put a battery in my car. I woke up at 5:15 this morning. Alright, what are we going to do? What key will we do? You want to do a sharp one or a flat one? What are you probably least familiar with? It's a flat one. We'll do an easy flat one. We'll do a real easy flat one. We'll do the key of F. Okay? Can't draw. This paper sticking. Okay. F. Do a capital M for major, because that's how we write it when we get to be pros, you know? Alright, so we're going to start on the F. Boom. F. G. A. B. C. D. E. And F. Well, let's do this one. F to G. F sharp, G. Whole step. G to A. G, G sharp, A. Whole step. A to B. Whole, whole. We need a half here. A to B. A sharp, and B. So what will we do? We got to bring the B down by a half step. Make it a flat. So make it a B flat. Then you get your half step. So we have F, G, A, then a B flat. So B flat to C. We have a whole step because the B to C is a half step. So B flat to C is a whole step. That's good. That's what we need, right? That's what we need. Whole, whole, half, whole. We need to get a whole here. How do we do that? We have C to D. C, C sharp, D, whole step. D to E. We need to get another whole step. So there's D, then a D sharp, then E. Got another whole step already. And then the E to F. Well, there's no E sharp or F flat, so that's a half step right there. Bam. Got your F major scale. So if you know this formula, and see, this is called music theory. If you know this music theory, you don't have to go out and buy a book of scales and try and learn them. You can just, if you know the formula, you can figure them out yourself. And the easiest way to do this is dun 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 wah 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 wah. Right there. That is called your circle of fifths. Okay? Let's get a closer look. I'm gonna come over here. The way that this thing works, okay, you have all of your key signatures. Let me see. This is your flats side generally, because look, there's your B flat, E flat, A flat, your D flat, which is also C sharp, your G flat, which is also F sharp, okay, and then this is your sharp side. Here's your G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and that's the number of sharp notes that are in each scale, and this is the number of flat notes that are in each scale, okay? That one is F sharp or G flat. There's only 3 that actually share an enharmonic name for these key signatures. I'm not just talking about the notes, I'm talking about the key signatures. This is how you make a key signature, okay? And inside here in red is your relative minors for each one. Here's C, there's your A minor. G has 1 sharp in it, and it's your E minor scale. Same thing. The D major scale we know had the 2 sharps in it, and its relative minor is the B minor scale. So let's say you're looking at a piece of music and in the key signature it has the 2 sharps, and I'm going to show you how to write out the key signatures too, because it's important that you put the sharps or the flats in the right places and in the right order. It's not just jumbled, it has to be a certain way. I'll show you that after this. But this is like the most important and easiest thing ever for doing this. Now I'm going to let you just write this down. Just pause your screen or something, you know. It doesn't have to have all the circles and stuff in it that mine does. I'll show you the one that I used in school, just drawing it out real quick, as I did it like this. I have my old workbook here. You know, it's just something that I would draw on the back of like every piece of paper. You know, just scribble it out just so I have something to work with while I'm doing my key signature homework, you know. You know, I just did that. What did I do? It looks like I don't know what I was doing there. This is like a couple years ago. And if you want to look, I mean, see, this is like my worksheets that I would do for naming them. It would just, see, this is what I wrote in here. It would just show that, and you have to know what they are. But if you have, you know, a circle of fifths diagram, you can do that pretty easily. The capital M's are major. I don't think we got into minors yet on this page because she was just showing us we were learning. That's some of the how you write out the key signatures. We'll get into that a little bit later. Look, there's another circle of fifths. You know, just something I was something you put on everything. These are the movable clefs. We don't have to get into that right now. These are some of the intervals that we're talking about. And I'll get into that in the next lesson. This lesson is just on the circle of fifths. So anyway, look, here's your D major scale. You got a sharp there, an F sharp and a C sharp. You come up here to your circle of fifths. D major has both sharps, and it's relative minor. I'll try and get like a blown up view of each section here, so you can kind of like write it down. I just taped together 4 pieces of like thick paper, drew this out. And what else can I say about this? Oh, well, the reason why it's called a circle of fifths is because each thing, each key signature is a fifth apart, right? Because you have C, D, E, F, G, fifth. G to D, G, A, B, C, D. A to E, A, B, C, D, E. E to B, E, F, G, A, B. B to F sharp, B, C, D, E, F sharp. It goes with it goes kind of like with the chord functions. There's a reason why it goes to F sharp, you know, because like if you were making like a B major chord, the fifth note of that chord, or the fifth, or sorry, like a B major scale, the fifth note of that scale would be F sharp. So that's its fifth. That's in the intervals thing. We'll get into that a little bit later, like in the next lesson, because those are really important. But for now, don't concern yourself with why it's called a circle of fifths. Just get it down so that you can work with it and generate your key signatures. You know, this is like, yeah, when I heard of this, I couldn't believe how like mathematically sophisticated that is, and how to work with music, you know, because when you think of music, you don't really think of something like this, but it's so logical, you know. Let me grab something off of my shelf here. Look, I'll grab a piece of music and we'll see what we got. What? Oh, it's funny too, because look, if you look at the guitar grimoire, look what it's got on it. All of the grimoires here. It's like the book of scales and stuff that I use to learn. Here's another one for progressions and improvisation. Boom, right on it. Here's the monster scale and modes book that I have. Boom. You know. Let's see. Let's get a piece of music out and see if. See what here. Here's Randy Rhoads solo stuff. Let's see. A lot of this stuff is in A minor. Here, okay, look at this. I'll cover that up. If you would look at, I'm covering that up, but if you would look at like where the beginning of this music is, it starts off, it's got one flat, and it's on the B. So I know that it's either going to be an F major or the D minor. Let's look. What is well, this isn't exactly like the best example because it's a solo. It doesn't start on a chord, but it's in D minor. You can see right there with the little M. Usually, you know, you'd start out by having a chord, and you would know like that, like in my Paganini book. Where's that? Or Van Halen. What do we got here? Let's find something. Okay, here. Let's look at this. Got 4 sharps. Okay? 4 sharps. It's either going to be an E major or C sharp minor. Well, let's look at the music. There is a natural note. That's out of the scale, but here we go. We got, yeah, he's doing a lot of like the chromatic stuff right now because it starts off on a riff. Let me go into a chord. Let's find a nice chord here. This isn't the best example. I should have planned this out better. I don't know. Let's just pick this. Let's find one. I don't know. I'll go here. You got E and A. E and A. He's kind of not really sticking with the best example for showing you. I was trying to find my Paganini one. I don't know where it is because I know. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Forget the Van Halen thing. Sorry about that. I should have planned this out better. Here we go. Well, I don't have to cover it up, but look, there's no key signature here. So it's either in C major or A minor. And if you look, it's starting on the A note. And there's C, which is the third of A minor. And then he goes to the E chord and back to the A minor chord. And he's using the chord functions of A minor. Because if you look, or the chord function of C major, whatever you want to look at it as, but it's an A minor, because the chord functions of that are A minor, the E is major, the A is minor, the E is major. Here he's doing an A major just to change it up, because it's actually an A melodic minor, and we can get into that later, but So don't worry about that chord, because this is like really sophisticated music and really complicated music. It's not just the basic stuff for learning, but there's your D minor, your G major, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You'd find that it's your major chord function. Same with C, because it's C major, you know. And there's the B diminished. It's a B diminished seventh, which that works just as well, because you're just adding one extra note that's in the key signature. And you know, he's sticking with the chords from, he's pretty much for the most part sticking with the chord functions of the A minor, the A melodic minor scale. The A melodic minor is just a tiny bit different than A minor. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's what you do. I don't really know what else to say about it. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. So that was what I wanted to show you, because I was so psyched about it when I was learning this stuff, because I thought, man, this is gonna take like forever to try and memorize all these just jumbled scales with random sharps and flats in it, you know? I mean, just look, if you had to try and go through life like that. Oh, that's not the end of the lesson. Let me see. Here, we're going to practice doing our key signatures, okay? Let's do one page at a time. How about that? Alright, and you need to learn them on both clefs, because that's really important. Okay, so the first thing you do is you'd start with the C. Well, that's just blank. So we're done with C and A. So now we'll start on the sharp side. We'll do G sharp, okay? Don't worry about the minors, because, you know, we're just learning how to put the sharps in the right like placements, okay? Because it's important that you do that. Let me get my, okay. Check this out. This is how you remember this. Sharps is this is the order that you write them on the staff. So like the first sharp would go over the F line, the second sharp would go over the C space. And the way that you remember this is, check it out. Free cats go dancing after eating birds. Free cats go dancing after eating birds. And the way that you write that out is like this. Here's your F. You put a sharp over the F. That's one sharp. That's G major. See that? One sharp, G major. So two sharps would be D major. We're just gonna do it all together. Free. There's your C for cats. Put a sharp there. You gotta put them in this order. It has to be this way. This is the only way. There's only one way to do it. Free cats go. You hit the G up here. Free cats go. Here's dancing. After. F, C, G, D, A. E is the top space. Free cats go dancing after eating birds. Come down here and put a sharp here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sharps is the most sharps you'll ever have. And let's look at our circle of fifths. Here's your first sharp. G, D, A, E, B. See, look. Oh, we'll do that later. Okay, but 7 sharps is this one. C sharp major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so every sharp that you added in, you were going to a different key signature. When there was only 3 on the page, you were in A major. When there was 2 on the page, you were in D major, and so on and so forth, all the way around. Let's finish writing that out on the bass clef. I gotta hurry up because I have to leave for work in like 5 minutes. I just realized that. So the bass clef, the A is here, A, C, E, G. Okay? So this line is your B. And the 2 dots straddle your F line. So we're going to start on free. A little bit rusty on this clef because I haven't been in school for a while. And guitars don't read this clef. Free, cats, go. Dancing, blah, 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 blah. Hey, wait. Okay, sorry, this is your B line. Yeah, I told you I was rusty. This is B, F, G, G, A, B. So this is G. So this would be D. Free cats go dancing after eating birds. Okay, there we go. Right? F, C, G, D, A, E, B. I gotta work with that. I gotta work with the bass clef more often. I've been forgetting all this stuff. I'm gonna have to pause it for now. We'll come back and I'll do a second video right after this that's linked to it with the flat side of things. Goodbye.